In this demonstration, we're going to take a look at securing some of your communication protocols. Basically, just a variety of things such as SMB signing, secure channel signing, LDAP signing, and other things as well. So in admin tools, what we're going to do is look at our domain controller security policy. So in the domain controller security policy, under local policies, we have security options. And we're going to take a look at some of these security options here. Now specifically, we'll look at security options that are enabled by default on a domain controller. So to scroll down, we'll see most of them are not defined, but as we get down here a little bit, we'll see that we have an LDAP server signing requirement. LDAP signing is normally enabled between a 2003 domain controller and 2003 admin tools. So for example, if you're running on an XP machine, the XP machine needs to understand how to do LDAP signing in order to communicate with the domain controller if the admin tools are installed on the XP machine. So you could control LDAP signing requirements here to require or not require signing. Another issue is secure channel data. Secured channel data is digitally encrypted or signed by default. That can be an issue with communicating with down-level clients that do not understand how to encrypt secure channel data. In likewise fashion, scrolling down, we have another digitally sign setting here. This one's called digitally signed communications. Well, I'm not sure it gets any more generic than that. What they're talking about here is SMB signing. So if you specify to digitally sign communications, what you're saying is that you would like to digitally sign SMB packets going from this server to any other computer. Now, because that's enabled by default, again, you may have difficulty communicating with down-level clients. And scrolling down a little more, finally, we're going to take a look at our LAN manager authentication level. So we'll look at that in more detail and just look at the options. Now, Windows 2000 operating systems and later like to use Kerberos. Kerberos is the default authentication protocol in use for Active Directory. Now, Kerberos uses a ticket system and time synchronization to make sure that there's no stealing of tickets, there's no man-in-the-middle attacks, there's no impersonation, etc. So previous authentication protocols include LM for LAN Manager, NTLM for NT LAN Manager, and NTLM version 2. So your strongest authentication protocol is Kerberos, but if you have pre-2000 operating systems, you will have to provide support for one of these other authentication protocols. Now, preferably, for the highest level of security, you would say to send NTLM version 2 response only and refuse version 1 and LAN Manager, which is the least secure. However, if you do that, you want to make sure that your NT systems are enabled for NTLM version 2, which can be accomplished by installing the directory service client on your NT machines. And also you have to consider Windows 95, 98 family of machines. They may or may not be able to understand NTLM version 2. And again, the directory service client can help you solve that problem. But by enforcing the use of NTLM version 2 only and Kerberos, you're giving yourself the strongest possible authentication. So that's it. That's just a quick overview of a couple settings that are enabled by default out of the box for a domain controller. So LDAP signing, secure channel signing. SMB signing is very vague and generic, digitally signed communications. And your LAN manager authentication levels, LM, NTLM, NTLM version 2, and Kerberos.